Namaste everyone! I wanted to come up here in this video to just introduce myself a little bit and talk about what is yoga. We see so much these days about wellness, about yoga, and that's beautiful, but I wanted to really spend some time for us to practice with intention, practice with understanding. So I thought we'll have a little bit of a chat, get to know each other, and grow through this journey of life together through, honestly, whichever practice connects you, may it be asana, pranayama, meditation, sound healing, whatever it is. So let's just begin with this. So my name is Shraddha Kotsari. I am originally from Belgium, currently shifted to India for a bit. And I've been really blessed to be practicing yoga for the last 13 years of my life. I've been teaching. I had done my 200-hour TTC in Mysore, then I went ahead to do my 500 in Rishikesh, and then I got trained further into yoga therapy, which is what I'm specialized in Goa. And then I got trained in Pune for Iyengar style of yoga, and did my meditation course and coach work in London, as well as my sound healing and Reiki. So, I mean, honestly, all of this is just knowledge, right? But finally, and to be really honest, what I consider myself is not a yoga teacher. I'm just a little baby yoga student, and as much as, you try to learn and keep learning. Honestly, it's like an ocean of learning when it comes to yoga. But I have to be really honest, I really used to hate yoga. So coming to that, I never liked it. And suddenly I was just plunging into this new world. I was actually a weightlifter. I was 40 kilos more than what I am right now. So yoga is actually the way I lost 40 kilos, and that's how I actually entered the whole realm of yoga and how it helped me with not just weight loss, but also just self-love. It was more of a journey of understanding myself, being able to accept myself as I am in whichever stage of life I am, no matter what or which, amount of weight I am at. So yeah, coming back to yoga, that I really did not like it. I remember my friend, she's really strong, into yoga, and she used to always tell me, Shraddha, why don't you come for a yoga class? And I was like, no way, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm not doing this. This is for boring people. There is no way. But then, of course, things really changed, and now it has become my life. And that is the way I love to live, or I try to at least live. My life is through the art and the journey and the practice of yoga. So I remember my first TTC, I was so stiff. And that's when I kind of was like, is this really for me? I think yoga is for people who are just flexible, because you're meant to touch your toes. You're meant to do all of these postures that I cannot do. And I was completely wrong. Yoga asana is very different to what yoga, the true definition of yoga, is. So in the Yoga Sutras, Sage Patanjali, who is the founder, the father of yoga, has defined yoga as yogaha chitta vritti nirodha. That means yoga is the cessation of mental fluctuations. Even easier, do you ever experience your mind like a monkey, constantly just jumping from one thought to another, one thing to another? It's like it can do a whole world tour in just 1 minute. Have you ever experienced that? Well, yeah. Yoga is the practice that allows us to bring our mind back to stillness, back to the present moment, back to a space and a state of awareness. That is the practice of yoga. And of course, yoga is also defined as the union between the higher self and our individual self. So yoga is union, right? But then I tried to kind of, I heard all of this. I was like, okay, this is great. I totally want to do this. But through the practice, through these 13 years of me practicing this incredible thing and this incredible art, I wanted to share kind of my definition of yoga. So I tried to make it into a small acronym, and it's kind of a daily version of what yoga is. Rather than making it so philosophical, which of course is the root, I just tried to make it a little bit more practical for myself. So we spell yoga as Y-O-G-A. So for me, yoga, starting off with the Y, is yoga is your own journey. Like I said, I hated yoga. I really disliked it with all of my heart. And I remember my first class, I had this girl next to me in my 200 TTC, and she could touch everything. And I was like, there's no way I'm doing this. And then I was like, Shraddha, like, this is your own journey. Like, she is at one stage of her life, which is perfect, but why am I comparing myself to someone else? When I'm on this mat, it is me, myself, my mat, myself. Why any comparison? No comparison. That is not yoga. So yoga is your own journey. It's not about comparing yourself to someone else. It's about comparing myself to myself. It's about being a better version of myself. Like, every day I ask myself that, was I a little bit, like even 0.1% better than yesterday? Then yes, I'm on the path of yoga. It is your own journey. No comparisons, no nothing. It is just you looking into a mirror, trying to understand yourself, trying to deepen your own spiritual journey, I would say. So that is the why for me, my own journey or your own journey. Going to the O of yoga. Yoga has really taught me in these 13 years the art of being open-minded. So as and when you practice yoga, we realize that, you know what, there are so many types of bodies, so many different types of people, so many different types of practices. And the more you delve into the philosophy part of yoga, you become more open-minded, not being judgmental that, okay, fine, like if there's a vase or a vase right here, and let's say this side is black and this side is white, and then there's someone here, he thinks it's white and he thinks it's black, but who's right? Both. So yoga teaches us this art of being open-minded that, okay, we all might have opinions and, you know, our own thought processes, and learning to respect one another rather than trying to be like a crab and trying to like pull each other down. No, let's try to lift each other up by being open-minded to what someone else feels or thinks. And it's not about just absorbing what they say, but at least being open-minded to that. So I think through the practice of yoga, this is really something I learned through the years, being open-minded. Then G would be for gratitude. I mean, honestly, in any yoga class, you start off with, you know, setting an intention, being grateful for the practice. You end always, at least for me, I always end my sessions with praying for the world, being grateful for all we have. Like, I know how, you know, I lost my mom at the age of 16 and it was tough. It was not easy. Like I said, I went through this 40 kilos weight loss journey, and through all of it, it was yoga that helped me. It was yoga that was the anchor that, even if there was so much darkness, it taught me how to see the light within that darkness. And I started actually appreciating the darkness, because sometimes darkness is actually beauty. And that is something huge that I learned, because I always used to label something bad or something, I mean, I don't even like to say bad anymore, but something less good or negative as something bad. But I realized that sometimes mistakes or darkness or a bad phase, a negative phase of our life can actually be the biggest blessing of our life. So gratitude, a yogi lives in gratitude for all the good and the bad, because all of it are basically just chapters and experiences for us to unite and become the bestest versions of ourselves in this birth. So gratitude. And then the final one, A, which is awareness. So yoga has really taught me awareness of my surroundings when I practice, awareness of my body, of course, with, trying to align the body, the right postures and all of that. That's just honestly 0.1% of what yoga truly is. Then awareness of my breath, which again takes everything to a more subtle level, because the moment I'm aware of my breath, I have to be in the present moment. My mind cannot go in the past and the future. And then of course, the final one is aware of myself, meaning my true self, the self that I have been ignoring since time immemorial, my true nature. So I think yoga is a practice truly of awareness, becoming aware of. In yoga, we say there is the panch kosha, the 5 layers of existence, and it allows us to explore all the different layers of us and finally connect to Anandmaya kosha, which is the final, ultimate, purest version of us. So yes, this is kind of my definition of yoga through the practice of 13 years into this, and I think it's going to be a lifetime of it. Of course, I just, for anyone who may be watching this video, if you really hate yoga or you dislike yoga with all of your heart, I hope this video kind of helps inspire you that yoga is not just that beautiful, headstand and that picture on Instagram that we just post and it looks fantastic. That is really not yoga. Yoga is profound. Yoga is a journey. Yoga is an art. Yoga is talking to yourself. Yoga is understanding yourself. Yoga is recognizing yourself. And yoga is being your truest self. So I really hope this helps. I'll see you in the next one. Namaste.